Hello.
Hello.
What's
Hello.
up?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Said Gorls.
Are we all
Yay!
new school year?
Mm-hmm.
Us?
New us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Getting ready to tackle the fall semester.
Junior year, let's go.
oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
It's been rough. I guess I'll go first with my week of school. So my first week of school, I got sick. I have strep, or I'm like ending strep now. So bad. Like
Not a
it's
good
like
way.
usually you have Isabella and like who is like getting dressed nicely for every class and like doing stuff and like she's so motivated, and then there's me. I'm like, no. Like after every class I took a nap, and then
But you were sick though.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
But like I'm
fine.
scared that like I'm gonna like this is gonna still be me even after
Well,
after I
okay.
Yeah,
Silver lining, maybe because you've been feeling like that, maybe once you're done, you'll be extra motivated. You're like, all right, like I'm on top of it
maybe.
that's true. That is very true.
I mean I did drop a class, so
now. Oh,
yeah.
photography?
I dropped my photography class because
Yeah.
she's a very nice woman. She had a tarantula, so like very nice. Like
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
kind of
people are
like,
very nice.
well, it
that's
was
kind of bad vibes
super
though.
sweet, but she just wanted me to buy a $200 plus camera, and I was like,
No.
No.
no, like I dropped it. But no worries, guys. I think I'm on track to graduate. So I want to take a little second of their week to talk about
Ooh, I
any
mean,
highlights or
I got an internship, which is
Yeah.
very exciting.
Tell us
Yeah.
about it.
So it is through this company called Catch Media, and basically it's like a genome analysis company. It was created by the same guy who did the genome for Pandora Music. So basically is kind of trying to figure out how to find like movies that like cater to like whoever's watching it. And so like my job as an intern is to there's like 3 weeks of training. So we learn how to like code for like not like computer coding, but like code, like figure out like the genome. So by watching different movies and then talking about them in like weekly sessions, then there's different speaker series. So like a lot of people that work within the industry get to come and talk to you. And it's really fun. I'm really excited. It
yay!
seems like it's a cool group of people.
That's
So
so
Congrats.
cool.
So
that was
happy.
a highlight of the week. Yeah.
That's a good highlight. First week of I was at my first week of school. It was pretty good. I mean, I'm like a nerd in the way that I love school. And
No,
I love
same.
classes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Good that we're on the same page. Because like I say that sometimes and people are like, oh, you're like that type of
I mean,
person.
we're all film
Yeah,
studies majors, so
that's true. I
Yeah.
guess we're kind of like built that way. But yeah, so I was really excited to start classes and also just to kind of get back into a routine. Because like I had sort of a routine over the summer with my internship and stuff like that. But then once that ended, and then I had a couple weeks in between that ending and classes starting, I was just like, I don't know what to like do with myself. So that was
Hmm.
good, just getting back on a routine. And I really like most of my classes, which I was kind of nervous going into online, obviously. But like one highlight for me is that I'm in a class for one of my minors called, what is it called? Gender Stratification and Globalization. And
Oh
my,
yeah.
yeah, I highly recommend. I don't think it like fits into either of your guys' minors or majors or anything, but if you have room, I would take it because the
Okay.
teacher is so cool. And last week we just went over the syllabus and then we were obviously done pretty early, but then a bunch of us just stayed behind and we just talked about like, because my class is all female identifying people. So we were all talking about like our experiences as like identifying women and and we were talking about the WAP music video and just like we were talking about all this stuff and it was so fun and it was so interesting. So that was my highlight.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh.
It's so
That'd be really fun to take that class, actually.
Mhm.
it looks so
I'm gonna write that
interesting.
down. Okay, cool.
So I guess with
Oh.
that long introduction out of the way, we will now introduce ourselves because some people might not know our names. So as we always do, there will always be a question of the day. And the question of the day, we're really excited for this one is what's your favorite TikTok? Wow.
Yay.
So I usually go first, but today I'll change it up. Who wants to go first today?
Isabella,
Oh. Oh gosh.
Who misinterpreted it?
Well, I am Isabella. Welcome everyone. And my favorite TikTok was actually one that my sister showed me. So it gives me like Vine energy, which is why it's like so funny, but it's just this guy and if you're familiar with TikTok, there's a popular audio where it's like this girl singing like a fancy version of what is it called? Dark Horse by Katy Perry.
Mhm.
So she's singing it all like it's like a choir song. So it's this guy and he's like singing the song, but then he gets interrupted because he hears something behind him and he's like what was that? And then he's like going like this to his head. It's really weird to like explain it, but then he turns around and he's like ghost. It's like really funny the way that he says it. And when you watch it, you'll understand, but just like it's just so chaotic and like you don't understand what's going on. And
like
my sister, exactly like Vine energy. Like my sister and I will literally be like talking or something, and we're like ghost, and then we like play the video. It's really embarrassing, but it's very funny. It gives me Vine energy, so that's why I like it.
Make me happy. My ear looks weird. Ghost!
All right.
And on our school starting, got to show the TikToks that we watch the most when you get bored during class and you want to watch some funny content.
Yeah, during. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Literally, you're just like your phone is right off the screen. You're like,
yeah, exactly.
This is my way of like, I have my phone right here and I just like,
yeah. Classic.
We're just like, I'll literally be like this and I'll be looking down.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of our
we pay attention, we promise.
I mean, if you're watching, we probably love you, so we probably don't do that.
Yeah, we pay attention in your class.
If you're one of our film teachers.
Yeah.
We pay attention. Very true.
Yeah.
Okay, what's to go next?
Oh, I'll go. Okay. So I'm not really on TikTok that much, so I was looking.
What's your name, Miss?
Oh, I'm Hunter. What's up? So this one that like just really makes me laugh for like minutes straight is there's just this little dog and she's just like hobbling around and her tongue's like hanging out of her mouth. Like she's clearly old as shit, like pardon my expression, but and then the type is like it's like when your dog has like lost all of her teeth and like her coochie's fallen out of her twice, but she still walks down the block like she owns it. And then the sound of that is like, you can't get rid of me, bitch.
That dog's gonna live forever.
It just gets me, yeah, because like my dogs have like lived to be really old and they're like they get like that too. And it's so funny.
That's how my dog is right now, Peanut. Like she's been through so much. And like she's like, you can't get rid of me. Like
can't get rid of me. You can't.
She still acts like a little biatch, like. So she got mad at me this morning. So.
As they do.
You can't get rid of me, bitch. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going no fucking where.
Yeah.
So is it my turn?
Yes.
No, it's the other members.
All right, moving on, everyone. Okay, this is it.
Okay. Hi, my name's Angelique Acuna, like Akuna Matata. I was really trying not to say that, but alas, I can't. And my favorite TikTok is so there's these two people. and they're like just casually eating, and this girl is like, I think I hear voices. I think I'm a medium. And then this other guy just turns around, he says, well, I'm an extra small.
I love that kind of humor.
That also gives me fine energy.
Yeah.
I think I heard voices. I think I'm a medium. Well, I'm an extra small.
Another one of our favorites is like the one where someone is like sipping and it's like, why spicy?
Oh my god. I
So
love that
for a
one.
while, me and my friend would like constantly do that, just like, and yeah. Like I saw one with Edward in it, like when he smells Bella's blood. It's like,
Why is it spicy?
Ew.
No.
Ew. Oh my god. Oh wow. That was good. Thank you for the laughs.
Good times.
Good.
Those are some good TikToks,
A
everyone.
link to your favorite TikTok.
If you have any
Or
funny
follow-
TikToks,
follow us on TikTok. I mean, I've only posted 2.
I haven't posted a single video, so
Don't follow me on TikTok.
yeah. Actually, just don't follow me.
I'll just post mine. No, well, I don't really post on TikTok either. But I guess with that, we will continue on to our topic of the day. It's a chill episode. I don't know what we're gonna call it. A chilly-sode? A chill-sode?
I guess we're just chatting. We're just
Chit chat.
Just updating everyone.
No, I've been dying. And like we didn't want to. It's like the first week of school. We didn't want to like prepare a lot. I mean, we did prepare like stuff for the rest of the month, but
yeah.
For this one, we were like, let's do a chill one.
Yeah.
So we wanted to talk about like the classes we're taking, or specifically the film classes we're taking this semester, and like
what we've been watching.
Yeah, and like it's what we've been watching, like TV show and movie wise. And
yeah, because I think our first video on here, at least on YouTube, was just like what we've been watching, and that was like a while ago, right? That was like months ago. So like a refresh. Like
yeah, and also like our first video has over 100 views now, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
And like, we want to say thank you for everyone's support.
Yeah.
I don't know how many subscribers we have now, but
I think 24. I'm gonna.
Let's
take it away.
So
get the show on the road.
Someone introduce us our classes, because I'm gonna like so.
Okay, film classes. So, I am taking 2 film classes, right? Yeah, 2 this semester. I am taking Korean cinema. As are these other beautiful ladies, and film theory, and so yeah. So Korean cinema is for film studies. You have to take advanced topics in world cinema, I think it's called. And so basically they offer like different classes each semester, and it's like Korean cinema, Italian cinema, I think sometimes German cinema, Australian cinema. Shout out.
That would be fun to take.
Yeah, doesn't Kelly teach that?
Yeah. Love her.
But yeah, so I mean, when I saw that Korean cinema was a choice, I definitely wanted to take it because, I mean, as we all know, Parasite has just blown up, and I love Parasite, and I remember in film history we did a really small unit on Korean cinema, and I just remember like everything that Kia showed us in that class. I was like, that is so cool. Like all the clips he showed us, I was like, that looks so interesting. Like I really want to learn more. And the history was really cool behind it. So I definitely wanted to take Korean cinema. And so far, I mean, we've only had 1 class, but the syllabus looks really interesting and the teacher's really nice. So I'm excited. Shout out to
Namli.
Shout out, love her.
Actually, I think for film history, she's the one that organized that unit. Like she chose.
Oh, she did?
Yeah,
that would make sense.
History semester.
So then that's exciting because that was just a snippet of what's to come.
Yeah.
And then film theory.
Oh, that was a great unit.
Yeah. And film theory is like the required junior year film studies class. And I am very excited for it because all of the movies on our syllabus look so interesting and the topics just look really fun. So yeah, classes.
I can go next since I have like, well, I'm taking 3 film classes. I'm taking Korean and film theory. I was like, what's the other one? As the other 2 girls, we're all in the same class. And then the other additional one I'm taking is animated history. And I'm excited for all of them. I think I'm most excited for Korean cinema, or I guess no, I'm excited for all of them, like just differently. Because I'm excited for Korean cinema because, like, similar story to Hunter with film history. Like after that, I just opened the door to like a whole bunch of new movies I haven't seen, and I wanted to learn more about it. I was actually like, long story short, I was like number 1 on the wait list, and I was so nervous I wasn't gonna get in. But I did. I mean, I'm dealing with like a whole bunch of other like some like technical difficulties getting into like I'm not gonna explain it, but like getting worked on. And then for film theory, I'm like more nervous because of course it's like it's our first like upper division like big boy film studies class, because we had film theory, but that's still like kind of lower division.
You mean film analysis?
Film analysis, yeah. Like, see, we're so like film theory, film analysis, like
they blend together is what it seems like.
Yeah, like you get when you talk about like the content, it's very different. But for some reason, I feel like film theory like seemed like the content's like a little easier. I don't know if that's me, but like I guess it's more like for instance, like the first week we talk about like beginning of film history, and it's like, okay, cool, like I like literally think in all my classes are doing that right now. While like in film analysis, yes, that's what the class in like sophomore year, like we jumped right in like with like is Goodfellas a racist movie? And it's like whoa.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we got into it.
Yeah, like, wait, I don't know if Isabella, do you mind me telling this story of like we were writing the paper for Gunmo, and you like texted me at 2 a.m.
Oh my god, I like literally was like about to jump off a cliff like when because I procrastinated on a paper a little too much for that class, and I wrote it like late at night, and I literally thought that it was like the worst thing that I had ever written, and it was so bad. And it was like, this is late at night, like I think it's like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
And because I'm sure like you guys are the same way, but like, I'm just like really hard on myself to like just do perfect on like every piece of essay and homework that I have to do. And I was like, I texted Angelique because I think we were like talking about the paper, and I was like, this is so bad. Like I was so upset.
I just remember, I think like I finished writing my paper because Kelly's really sweet, and like because we, for example, like this was Wednesday night, but like our paper wasn't due until like Thursday night, so of course we still had like a full day to do it still. But sorry if you hear my mom. So basically I think I was going to bed, like I was like in bed sleeping. She's like, can you look at my paper? And at first I'm like, I pretend I do not see it. And then she keeps,
no, I like would have done that.
Isabella kept texting me. She was like,
wake up.
I really need you to look at my paper. And I was like, okay. And like I like got out of bed, and like I opened my laptop, and like I think I told her like I think I was like, it was good, but I think I said something about the pacing, and then she's like, it's horrible, isn't it? Like I needed like, the whole thing. And I was like, no. It's
because
like,
no, sorry, like, well, because so I think I sent it to like another person, and then they said the same thing. So I just got really in my head about it, and I was like, oh my god, if 2 people said the same thing, like that means that it's horrible. It was so.
I mean, in my mind, if 2 people say the same thing, it's like at least it's not 2 different things.
True. You only have to fix.
That's true.
Yeah, but I remember he was just like, I remember I told Isabella, like, Isabella, do you want me to come over to Grand? Like, do you want me to like go over there and help you? Like, I was like ready to like. This is how committed I am to friendships. But like, I was like, Isabella, like, I'll get ready and I'll come over to Grand and like, which is like
on the shuttle,
like her apartment. Like, I was ready to get in an Uber and like just go over there and help her. I was like, I can sleep over. Like, my whole apartment's sleeping, but I'm like, I'll just jump in. And she was like, no, I'm fine.
Thank you.
We love a committed.
Like, we now the biggest lesson that we took away from that was that I should never write a paper at 2 a.m. ever again because it will deteriorate my mental health and make me go crazy.
Fair.
It was, oh my gosh.
Our
I
final
like-
paper for film analysis, though. I think I wrote. I don't think I wrote like half of it the night, like the day before.
She just put like so much pressure on each paper, and I just would get so in my head about it.
Yeah,
Because like
we only had
she had such high standards and
for all of our grades. And I feel like, I don't know if it's the same, I'm sure it's the same with you guys, but I feel like, especially with my specific classes that are for film studies, like film analysis or film theory, I like extra want to prove myself, and I extra want to like show like Kelly or Carmen that, I mean, we haven't had an assignment for film theory yet, but like I'm sure when we do, I'll act this way. But I want them to think that I'm good, because like they're like the masters in their field.
yeah,
They're the ones
They're all
teaching us, so I wanna
doctors.
impress them. And I'm like,
exactly.
yeah.
And like with Kelly, it was just like I liked Kelly's method of like you start like she made you start with like a 500 word like
Yeah.
paper, and then it built off of that. Like the next one,
Mhm.
750. Next one, 1,000. Your last one, 1,500. Like just like makes you like build up from that, which is like kind of was like perfect because I just felt like because especially like you're like oh like with like the second paper like I just didn't write like 200 and like something more like more words than the last one.
Yeah, so it didn't seem that daunting.
Mhm.
Exactly. So when you look at it, you're like, even though the first paper was really tough because like the only like thing is like oh like you get your first paper assignment though like the first month you're like she's like okay
Yeah.
first
I
month
had to write it really early on.
like
Yeah, I'm just like kind of going off that. I'm excited to I'm excited for film theory because like again we haven't ever had Carmen before, so I'm excited to see like her teaching method and all that.
yeah, and also to be with like all the other film studies majors again because like all our really good friends are in those classes and like I don't know I love them and the film studs, yeah, like literally they're so close to my heart. Like I think it goes like the people I would die for at Chapman campus is like the Gorls, like the film stud girls and the film stud. Like they've all helped me out.
Such sweeties.
Like they're like it's one of those things like especially in our class, like you can approach anyone and be like, can you look at my paper? Like what do you think about this? And they'll like be 100% like willing to because like we're all super close. We've all been together since freshman year.
There's like 10 of us or something.
Yeah.
So and we all know about each other's lives and everything.
And we got to like bond through that class too because we did all have it together and we got to go to like the screenings together, so that was really fun. And
everyone saw me have a panic attack when I watched demo, like so
and like in between class and screenings too, like we'd all go and like we'd get food together sometimes and just like hang out. So
like
it was really cool.
Hunter's apartment to be like
yeah.
Like we're having
microwave food in your apartment.
Yeah. Oh, I miss
so
that.
thanks for letting us use your apartment.
Of course. Shout out to room 13 in the K.
Yeah, shout out.
Or residents if you're watching.
Good times.
And I guess like the only thing I want to say about the animated film is like my animated history class is just like I'm really excited. I'm a big fan of animated film. I'm mostly excited because we watch them like Studio Ghibli. We're watching Studio Maybe I'll make you guys watch that with me.
Wait, yes.
I've never seen it.
It's so good. So
that'd be fun.
And I hope maybe I was thinking about this last night. I was like, I hope to write a paper about like Studio Ghibli. Like, see, this is how nerdy we are. We're like,
yeah.
I want to write a paper.
Oh my God, I want to write a paper. I'm actually taking 4 film classes this semester, which is kind of wild. And so in addition to Korean cinema and film theory, we've talked about those classes like a lot. I'm just also really excited for them and just to learn about films from like different cultures because like I think film is just so different like every different place like film is different in like every country so that would be really interesting to learn about and like we have friends in that class so that'll be a lot of fun. And the 2 other film classes that I'm taking a how music works in film class, which I'm really excited about because I love film scoring and film soundtracks. And I think like it's just such an important part. Like it really makes the whole movie. And so I'm just really excited to learn about that. And like the professor he's a composer himself. He's composed for different like movies and TV shows. and it'll just be really fun because you get to watch like a bunch of clips from different movies, which is like I always enjoy that because like you never know when it's gonna be like one of your favorite movies that we have to like talk about. And it's that, yeah, so that class is really cool. I'm excited for that. We might have to make our own temp track, which will be interesting. Might have to do some, you know, pairing clips with some music, which will be very interesting. So keep you updated on how that goes.
Yes.
And then the other class that I'm in is called Film Script Analysis, and it's under screenwriting, which is really cool because I really like screenwriting. And I just feel like since I'm at Dodge, like I do want to take advantage of like some really cool class opportunities. And I saw that they still needed people for the class. So I was able to get into it not like right before school started. So I got into it not that long ago. And it's taught by like the head of the film department, and his name is James Dutcher, and he's really chill. And we just get to watch different movies and like different clips and just talk about like script structure and like why it works, why it doesn't work, why it might work for some people but not for others. And the first movie that we get to watch is When Harry Met Sally, and that's one of my favorite movies, so I'm very excited about that.
That class sounds so
yeah, I know, it's really cool.
That
like
sounds so
it's
cool.
yeah, it's definitely like it's a little kind of like not intimidating, but just like weird, like when you're in a class with like a bunch of screenwriting majors, for example, who like have been doing this for a lot longer and have had more screenwriting classes. So it's really interesting as like a film studies major to be in them and just being like, hey.
I feel like that'll be so helpful though, like as a film studies major, like actually breaking down like what goes into a script, because like I mean
totally
we've done that in our classes before, but I don't like, obviously not to the extent that you're gonna do it, so I think that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
It sounds like really fun because like, I want to take a screenwriting class too, or just any like technical like film class, because our major is more like gotta write about film, you know. So it's like I mean not like we don't get to, but it's more like our course requirements don't require us to like go out and like take like screenwriting classes or like film production classes as much. The only like one we got to take was intro to
Visual storytelling.
I always say film aesthetics, which I know is not right.
Yeah.
Visual storytelling.
That's where cinematic masterpieces were born, in that class.
Yeah.
That voice crack. Excuse me. In that class. Yeah. Is there anything else that we want to say about film classes?
I mean, I've said before, like I'm very excited for the film classes that I'm taking, and I kind of like that for me and for you guys, I guess, like we're experiencing a bunch of new film studies professors that we haven't taken classes with before. And yeah, and just shout out to the film studies department at Chapman first off, because it's run by all women.
Yes.
We love to see it. Film stud Gorls.
Literally, yeah.
Right? They're all
What?
Are they all doctors? Like
I think they are. Yeah.
It was so funny, like when I did the Dodge Instagram story takeover for film studies, just gotta flex there real quick. And when I was doing it, I was gonna talk about like the professors and just like about the department, and I was like, wait, like it's run by all women, like that's really cool. And so I felt like I wanted to talk about that because I like, just especially like in film school, you have to deal with a bunch of like weird old white male professors. And I was like, it's really refreshing to have classes with women who like really know their stuff too.
Yeah.
So
woman at Dodge College, like
yeah, I think that's so cool.
No, it's awesome. And I remember because my freshman year, I think I only had male film professors, which like, I mean, obviously like I liked them. They were great, don't get me wrong, but like then going into sophomore year, taking class with Kelly, and just like all of her knowledge, like just I was just like, I mean, it sounds kind of dumb, but seeing like a woman be so knowledgeable and so like smart. Just my mind
Yeah.
was blown. I was like, oh my God. And now that like both my film professors this semester are women, and they like, even though we've only had one class with each of them so far, like I can already tell just like how just smart they are. And like, I'm so excited.
They'll care about their students too. Like Kelly always like,
They really do.
she's probably like one of the nicest professors too, like I've ever talking to, because like I used to remember, she remembers everything too. She has a mind of like an elephant. She remembered my application like to Chapman.
She did. That was crazy.
I remember your paper, and I was like, huh?
Like, I don't even remember my own paper.
And I was like, wait, what?
She'll visually see your progress, and like they all like really care about your progress.
Yeah, I think also like, now this sounds like an ad for like film studies majors, but like I
know we're like talking about it.
I'm getting really excited.
I know.
I think that's also like a really nice thing about film studies at Chapman, is because it is such a small major. Like, you're gonna know all of your professors, and all of your professors are gonna know you, and like yeah, like they actually care about you, or they seem to care about you, and they seem to actually, you know, like want you to do well and want you to learn. And like that's just continued with the classes this semester so far. Like, they genuinely seem to care about your well-being and like your education. And
And, like,
perks of a small major.
You care, they'll care. Like if you don't, like if you don't give a rat's ass like going into class, like they don't give a rat's ass about you. They're like, we're not gonna waste your time.
Yeah.
But like, shout out to
join film studies, everyone. Inclusion. It's a great major.
10 out of 10.
Shout out to Dr. Fury, Dr. Lee, and Dr. Carmen.
Our film stud Gorls professors.
Yeah.
I got those 3 of them, and there's 3 of us. We stand.
Okay, so
all right.
I guess we'll continue on to our next segment, which is just like talking about what we've been watching. I personally have been watching a lot, so I won't begin. Whoever wants to go first, take the floor.
Okay, I can start.
Hunter, go for it.
I wrote a little list because I've been trying to watch more, because something that I took away from my internship this summer was that if you want to go into this industry, especially in the like development side and the pre-production side of it, you like always have to like know the new stuff coming out and like really just be on top of it. And I'm really bad at that. So I've been trying to get better. So mine's kind of a mix of like new and old stuff that I've been watching. So I wanted to start with Palm Springs, which I recommended on our Instagram.
Ooh.
Have you guys seen it?
No, but
no.
I heard things about it.
Guys, it's so good. So it's basically like Groundhog Day. Like, everyone knows the premise of Groundhog Day. But it's with what's his name? Andy Samberg. Yeah. And oh my God, I'm forgetting the
girl from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh my God, is she?
I think she is in How I Met Your Mother.
That's why she looks so familiar. Oh my God. Okay. But yeah, and it's basically, the premise is that, so the female lead, whose name in the movie is Sarah, is her sister's getting married, and it's her wedding day, and she's kind of like the black sheep of the family, if you will. And Andy Samberg's character, whose name is Niles in the movie, which is like, I've never seen someone named Niles before, so I just was thinking of One Direction because of Nile, but whatever.
Legend.
Shout out. But he is the boyfriend of one of, I think, the bridesmaids of the wedding, and his girlfriend is like so annoying, and she's so like, and she like, they don't even really like each other, so like we don't know why they're dating. Basically what happens is that we find out that he has been in this time loop of the same day for like years, and so he's just been kind of like messing around with everyone because he's kind of accepted it. But then he drags Sarah literally like into this time loop with him, like by accident. Yeah, so then it's basically just them like figuring it out, and she like wants to get out of it really bad, and it's like, it's really sweet, and they like they fall in love. I'm like, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's really sweet, but it's also so funny. Like my roommates and I, we basically compiled this whole list of movies that we want to watch together, and that was our first one that we did, like from our list. Or actually, that wasn't on the list, but regardless, we've been talking about watching it.
Like, yeah, same idea.
Yeah, and like it's really feel good. Like that's what it is. It's on Hulu. It's a Hulu original, which I don't think I've ever seen a Hulu original movie before. So I was like, okay, Hulu, go off.
I heard from like
yeah,
one of my friends that like she was like, oh, I've like seen a lot of like she's not a big movie person, but she's like, I've actually watched a lot of movies recently, and she gave me a list, and like Palm Springs is on it, and she was like, it's on my like Hulu like watch list, and I just haven't got around to see it yet. So
you guys should watch it. It's really good. And there's this one line that made my roommates and I laugh so hard, because obviously it takes place in Palm Springs, and then there's this one character who lives in Irvine, and he says this line. It's oh my god, I'm really bad with names right now. It's the guy from Whiplash. What's his name?
Miles Teller?
No, the other guy.
A.K. Simmons?
Yeah. A.K. Simmons. And he lives in Irvine, and he's like, I'm gonna butcher it, but he says something like, you just gotta find your own Irvine, or something like that. He loves Irvine.
Wow, Irvine.
And we just laugh so hard, because we're like, that's just so random.
I know. Irvine, of all places.
Yeah, it was just, we want to get a little like plaque that says that and hang it up in our house. But yeah, so that's my first movie that I've watched recently that just, I loved it. It made me really happy. Highly recommend.
Nice.
Woo!
Palm Springs. Yeah, I do want to watch that one. All right. Well, one thing that I've been watching, well, the reason why I haven't really been watching like too much is because I decided to devote all of my time to watching a 10-season long TV show. And that TV show is called Shameless. You probably have heard of it before.
I've heard of it.
You also recommended it too on the...
wild. Yeah, I recommended it on the Instagram, and it's a really well done show. It's just long, so I didn't know. I'm almost done though. I'm on the last season, and
yes,
I know it was an achievement. I was like, I finally got here.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's basically just about like this working class family in Chicago, and the parents are kind of the patriarch of the family. He's like a total alcoholic, addict, not there for the kids at all. So the oldest sister had to come in and basically raise all of the kids. So it's just about all of the different shenanigans that the family has to get into in order to get by. And it definitely pushes the envelope, but that's what the show's all about. So that's why it's really good. And the acting is amazing. And I really like it. I never thought that I would like watch the show either. I've heard about it for a long time, and then I watched the pilot like a while ago, and then I kind of didn't watch it like again. I was like, okay, like it's good, whatever. And then I finally decided to like get back into it. And then when I watched the second episode, like I was hooked. It was really good. Yeah. Just like all the character dynamics that they set up, like it's a good show. It's a good time.
Yeah. Is it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I keep seeing it like be recommended to me on Netflix like for years, and I keep looking at it and I'm like, should I? Because I've only heard like really good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
Should I? And then I don't know why, I just never do. Like, yeah. So now that you recommend.
No, honestly, like check out the pilot. Like it's really good. I mean, and it's obviously like a comedy show, so like it's really funny, but they do use like they'll say things and you're like, did they really just say that? Like, oh my god, but like you'll laugh because it's kind of like like awkward, like what is going on right now?
Kind of like your description kind of reminded me of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which like I love.
But, it's similar to that show. Where they're kind of like terrible people. But you love them.
I've seen episodes of Shameless because like I hadn't she's my ex-friend now, but she was really into the show. She was really into the show, and I remember I would go over to her house and like see like some random episodes, but all I know is like the girl is like Christine from Phantom of the Opera. I'm always like,
Emmy Rossum. Yeah. She's like so good in it though. Like it's like, it sucks though because like it's not really like a spoiler, but like she like leaves the show like in like the second to last season. I don't know why she leaves, but she's like obviously like the main character and she like does a really good job. So it's sad when she's gone because like I hate, it's like annoying when
Especially
like that happens in
there
TV
for
shows.
that long.
It's like, why leave now? Like, just stick it out. Like, they only have one more season left to film. They were so close.
I wonder if there was like tea, and she was.
Yeah, who knows what could have happened?
So when like, what's his face, Eric, the guy who played Eric, just left the last season.
Eric left.
Yeah.
It's like when Elena left the Vampire Diaries, but she was an annoying character that left. What was that?
People do that a lot. I feel like in like
they do
running shows. I guess they're just like over it, which like fair.
They're over it. They get like another
you
opportunity that they need to like go for. So.
Yeah.
Huh,
interesting.
I always like wonder.
Locked on.
That's because they've been there for so long too.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about like TV shows and like cinematic masterpieces. I need to decide which one I want to talk about first. Okay, let's talk about cinematic masterpieces. I finished Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, that's right. I
I
literally am like Jesus. I just am so proud that I have spread the power of Dawson's to so many people.
You should be sponsored by them.
Please sponsor me, Kevin Williamson. Please, like, I love you. I want to work and become you one day. Like, shout out. If you're watching, love you.
We talked about Dawson's Creek a lot. Oh gosh, we talked about Dawson's Creek a lot.
We have.
And but like, I just wanted to announce that yes, I, Angelica Kuna, finished all 6 seasons of Dawson's Creek.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's a long journey.
I made a joke that like I started watching the series, I got strep. Now I finished watching the series, and I'm finished.
Dawson gives you strep. That's okay.
That little bitch always gives me strep, so.
Yeah, he would.
But honestly, like, one of the better, like, finale endings I've seen. Like, you know, most finales,
I really like it.
Cough, cough, How I Met Your Mother, like, disappoint you.
Don't even.
Like, piss you off. But this one, like, you're like,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Like, you know, like, the finale, it usually decides, like, if the show is going to be, like,
lost.
Like, the longevity of the show. Like, you think about, like, if it's going to, like, last a long time. It's, like, Game of Thrones, like, for example, Game of Thrones will last a long time. Like, I've never seen so much, like, people always references now, like, not to lie, even me, when I'm like, this is, like, the Game of Thrones, which is fine, but, like, now people, like, it's, like, but when I talk about Game of Thrones, I don't say, like, the last season.
You just disregard. You just don't even
disregard the last season. But
Exactly.
we're not here to talk about Game of Thrones. We're here to talk about the better Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, literally the best show that's ever been on television.
Game of Thrones.
And like a lot of people haven't even heard of it, but it's the best TV show.
We're here to tell you.
We are here to tell you
to watch it.
If you take one thing out of this video right now, is that you need to watch Dawson's Creek, and it's on Hulu.
For real.
Season 5 is kind of, but like,
yeah, it's kind of like there's some parts where it gets bad. But the thing is, like,
season 5 is where it gets tiring, and you're like,
but you can vouch for that and how like it makes up for it in the end. In my opinion,
it really does. It's so worth it. I think
it is.
You need to get through like the bad part to get to season 6. Though also felt like super duper long. Like, I don't know, in my opinion, it's like it felt like so much stuff happened, and you're like, this is only 1 season worth of stuff. I feel like it's like 10 seasons worth of stuff. Like,
yeah,
too much stuff.
Yeah,
but and also this is like era of like every season had like 20 something episodes, and now we're in an era which is like, frankly, I like this era more, where we only have like 12 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Which I
definitely like quality over quantity is kind of a big. You realize like how much better the show is when like each episode is worth it. Like Shameless only has 12 episodes, and like, I mean, clearly that show's been on forever, so it's gonna get like not as great as it goes on, but like you can tell that every episode counts. But like especially with Dawson's, like when you get to the end, you'll be watching an episode and you're like, this has no relevance to like the main plot at all.
Oh no.
Yeah, I guess that's all we have to say about Dawson's Creek.
Yeah. We've talked about it like a lot.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to announce that like I finished Isabella and I watched it, and maybe I'll send her some pictures of me to post of me
Oh,
crying.
they'll really be crying. I think
Screenshots of like our chat.
yeah, I will insert those. But
Like,
yeah.
but yeah, like before I cry again, Hunter, take us away with your second.
So I'll talk about another TV show that I watched recently that I really loved. And I don't know if I've talked about the show with you guys. Did I recommend it? I don't remember. But I watched I May Destroy You on HBO Max. I don't know if have you guys heard about it?
Oh,
It's the Michaela Cole
yes.
show.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Okay, I watched her show Chewing Gum like a couple years ago. That was when it was on Netflix, and I loved it. And basically, if you don't know, Michaela Cole is a British comedian, and she writes and like creates these shows, and she stars in them as well. And so I watched her show Chewing Gum a couple of years ago, and her style, from what I've seen at least from these two shows, is very like it's presented as sort of comedy, but it's very real and it's very like deep stuff. Like especially I May Destroy You. It's very hard subjects, but she kind of like it's okay. It's not fully comedy. I feel like Chewing Gum is a little more comedy than I May Destroy You, but it's shown in such like an interesting light. She stars in it. Her name's Arabella, and she's like a young writer, and she goes out one night and she gets raped, and the whole show is basically her her learning how to like survive after that, pretty much. And it focuses a lot on her friendships and like her friends helping her through it, and kind of like how she copes with it. And I personally, I love the show for so many reasons, but mainly because it's really like real and it's really authentic, and it's not like there's no sugarcoating, there's no like whatever. It's very like all of the characters are flawed in some ways. Like no one in the show is perfect, and they make it like well known that that's the case. So it's very authentic in that way, which I really love. And like from a more like film standpoint, the music is really great. Like it's shot beautifully. They use a ton of different like techniques or like storytelling techniques that are really cool. Like they use a ton of flashbacks. And yeah, and the characters are all so compelling and so complex. I highly recommend. It's on HBO Max. My voice crack.
Ooh.
HBO Max.
Oh my god, we've all had voice cracks this episode. What is going on?
Yeah, but I mean, again, like it is there are some tough moments to watch for sure. And like I definitely like had a lot of emotions watching it. But it's like 10 out of 10, honestly. It is so good. It's honestly one of the most like refreshing shows I've seen recently, because it just feels real, you know. And it's like it's not like done up for the TV, and it's not like movie magic, like hee. Yeah, and I love Michaela Cole as a creator. I really want to like dive into more of her stuff because I think she's really smart and she's really talented. So yeah, highly recommend. Yeah,
I definitely want to check that out now. I knew that it like existed, but I didn't know like what it was about or anything. Wow, that sounds really good.
It came out a couple months ago. Yeah, and they were doing like weekly episode like drops on HBO Max. It's like 12 episodes.
Ooh.
It's so good.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Also,
new binge.
I'm sorry that like I moved. Like I have a weird position.
You're good.
And like.
You're what?
I'm in bed, and like I promise I'll have a new setup soon. I should be moving into my apartment soon.
That's right.
It just depends on my health and my mom's health. So
yeah.
be on the lookout. So if you see, comment if like my background changes and you might be put in. Wait, I was kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, thank you for sharing, Hunter. I'll be sure to check it out. I haven't even heard of like that comedian.
Yeah, it's like, because I mean, also, okay, something interesting that I will add is that so I heard of I May Destroy You from one of my internship supervisors. He was watching it like right when it came out and he loved it. He highly recommended it. So I obviously, like, I didn't even know that she had a new show coming out, so I was really excited because, again, I liked Chewing Gum, her other show, a lot. And so something that I saw like a lot on the internet when I May Destroy You was like first coming out, because I think they came out with their finale maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I want to say. But I saw a lot because she's like she's a big like British comedian, like writer, actor type, and a lot of people were saying, and she is Black, and a lot of people were saying why isn't she as celebrated as like Phoebe Waller-Bridge is, because you know they're very like in the same vein. Like Fleabag and I May Destroy You have like a lot of similarities just in style and like authenticness. If that's a word. Authenticity. There you go. So yeah, so I was seeing a lot on like Twitter and just like when I would do research about I May Destroy You, a lot of people were bringing that up, and I thought that was really interesting because, again, like we hear, and of course we're going to hear different things because we're in the US and we're not in England, but yeah, we hear so much about Phoebe Waller-Bridge,
yeah,
but no one really talks about Michaela Cole, even though she is just as talented. I was thinking, like, why isn't she more well known, you know?
Yeah,
she like, yeah, just watching I May Destroy You, it really like inspired me, one, to like when hopefully like one day when I am in like a position to like choose what TV shows I want to like develop or what movies I want to develop, like it really inspired me in that sense. And yeah, I'm just like, I feel like more people should know about her because she's so crazy talented.
Yeah, that's so like, it's interesting that you did bring up the comparison because I was thinking about that when you were talking about the show. I was like, oh, that's kind of similar to like what Phoebe Waller-Bridge did, was like use her writing and her acting, and like she's like the full package and like made a TV show. Yeah. Shoot, now I really gotta watch this.
Yeah, that's exactly what Michaela Cole does too.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
That's the tea.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it makes, you know, I guess that sucks.
Yeah.
Because like she deserves like, you know, all of the recognition and everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah, for sure.
Again, thank you so much for sharing, Hunter. I will go next. Again, like I'm not gonna go for that long because like I wasn't really watching stuff, but I want to talk about this one show I've been watching like for a long time. It's called The Amazing Race. I literally watched 2 seasons of it like beginning of this week. And it's like, if you don't know what this show is, it's just like people race around the world and they have to do like really weird stuff, and it's super fun. And it's one of those, because I wanted to watch a show that like I don't really need to watch. Like literally I could fall asleep in the middle of it and wake up and be like, okay, that person got eliminated, cool, I can go back to sleep, like stuff like that. Like I think I fell asleep during one of the finales and I woke up and I saw like, you won the Amazing Race. I was like, oh, they won. Okay, like, and I went back to sleep, like, but it's like one of those really easy process shows to win. The one thing I do want to talk about is it's not like Survivor or like those technical shows where like there's like strategy involved in it. Like you don't need to be super smart to like be on the show, because literally like you don't know like if you're going to get a faster plane ticket, you don't know if your cab driver is going to be fast, like there's sometimes a language barrier. So, like, it's all up to chance sometimes, which is, like, kind of stressful. Like, for instance, someone who won Survivor won on The Amazing Race, and they said, like, they, like, did not like The Amazing Race playing on it as much because, like, there's no skill involved in it, because you can just, like, go on it, and, like, someone can get tripped up at, like, a task, and then they just, like, lose and stuff. And, like, there's very specific rules where it's, like, you have to walk, because if you don't walk, you get a time penalty and you have to sit out for like 30 minutes. Very technical, but like it's so fun. I highly. It's also on Hulu, and it's definitely one of those shows like because Survivor is more like technical where you need to know like, oh, this person's backstabbing that person and that person backstabbing this other person, but in like the Amazing Race it's like, oh, that person's in front. That's all you know. And like that person's in last. And of course there's like U-turns, there's like speed bumps, there's like a whole bunch of terms, but like it's really easy to pick up. I think it's one of the more easier shows to pick up like when you want to watch a reality TV show, because with Survivor if you say like the immunity necklace and like reward challenge, people are like but in Amazing Race it's like, oh, you have to get a point A to point B, and it's like, okay,
yeah,
that's all I have to say. But it's really fun. There's not one season I highly recommend because like, but it just really depends. I recommend going on TVOrigins.org because they will give you a description of like a full detail of like what it was, like the reception of the show and like if it got really good reviews or not, because that's like the thing I look at before I watch a season, if I'm gonna waste my time or not. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
We love The Amazing Race.
Very nice. One last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about was, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball, but I'm going to talk about a book, and more specifically an audiobook. That kind of counts. You have to listen to it just like you're watching something.
That's media.
Yeah. And I recently downloaded The Disaster Artist, the book, because I had seen the movie, and I just think the whole, like, if you know, like the concept of it, it's about like Tommy Wiseau, who made The Room, the best, worst movie of all time. And he's just like such a character. And I was just so fascinated by him the whole time I was watching the movie. And I was recommended by my friend Simon, shout out to you, to listen to the audiobook because, you know, it's just even more in depth in the movie and it's really entertaining. So I downloaded that, and I'll just kind of like go on a walk or like do something like that and just listen to like a chapter. And it is right off the bat, like it just sucks you in. It's so entertaining just to hear about the things that this guy does. He's just like, how is he even real? So it's really interesting. And Greg Sestero, who was like in the room and is kind of like Tommy's partner, like he wrote the book and narrated it. So you get to hear it all from like his perspective, which is really cool.
That's super
yeah, and he like does Tommy's voice and everything when he's like doing the dialogue. So it's really funny. But if you're an audiobook person and you want something to listen to, I would recommend. Or like podcasts, a lot of like audio audio formats, then I would recommend.
I've always wanted to listen to an audiobook. I never have, because I like podcasts, so I feel like I would like them. And that's interesting that you bring up, because I feel like that is the advantage of audiobooks, that he can like do the voices, or like it kind of like brings it to life. That's so
exactly cool. No, it's I'm not an audiobook person either, and I feel like it's kind of this new discovery for me. I just think it's like really cool because it's like, you know, just like how film brings images to life, audiobooks bring words to life. Like,
oh my god.
You know. But it's like really interesting to listen to people, just like a podcast, like just to hear like, you can like tell so much about a person by like their voice, which I think is always really interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice when the author does it too. Like else. But like I honestly read the book too, and I really like the book. But it's been a while.
Oh yeah, you did.
I read the book before going into like my freshman year of college, so yeah.
I haven't seen The Room.
So funny.
I haven't seen The Room either, so now I need to watch The Room. I've seen The Disaster Artist. I'm reading the book, and I just haven't seen The Room yet.
I haven't done any of it. We can watch The Room together.
Yeah, I'm down. I haven't seen it all the way through. I mean, I've seen, you know, the iconic scenes from it.
Yeah, same.
But all right, screening party. We'll watch The Room.
Those two are so funny. I recommend those too.
Wait, what?
The visuals for the show are really funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you go to like Rocky Horror and like they have all the different like they're always yelling at the screen the whole time. I've heard The Room has some really cool ones too.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
we love cult movies.
Close the episode.
Yeah.
anyone wants to do the closing? Because I don't feel good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, thank you guys for watching. We hope you like this little like chatty video. We just thought like it'd be fun to just catch up with you guys. I don't know.
Yeah, just catch up.
Yeah, just because like, school year is starting, everyone's busy and just adjusting to new things. And yeah, so we just wanted to just talk about some stuff that's been like fun for us recently, stuff that we've been watching, listening to, all that stuff. Comment below what you've been watching or listening to recently. We would love to hear. And also, thank you so much to everyone who responded to our Instagram question about shows and movies that we recommend. We're planning to do like a video or like a series even, because we got a lot of suggestions about watching viewer suggestions. So we're gonna watch those. We're excited. You guys came up with some good stuff. That looks really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
super excited.
Yeah, that's it for now. And I guess we'll see. We're gonna try to do like a weekly moment. We'll see how that goes. So like no promises, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well, and for all the Chapman kids that your classes are going swimmingly. And yeah,
and don't forget to like,
That's beautiful.
comment, subscribe, and share.
Follow the Instagram, spread the word.
Spread the word.
Spread the word.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming, guys.
Bye.
Bye.